Careful that we're not like putting our assembly to sleep and that they're not getting out their brandy snifters. So, but let's try that more. He said more in the bass,
Okay.
more comp chords in your right hand. Get away from the melody. Give the melody to the guitar, and see where it goes. You want to do the melody, or you want me to?
Go, you can do that.
That sounds great. Now I'm going to try to put a few chords in, but we'll just see what this is like. We'll experiment. Charlie, you want to lead us again?
You can bring it in. 1, 2, 3, 1.
So what'd you think?
It blends. I mean, there's nothing really punching out, so it just sounds so smooth and like perfect. I mean, the piano's not standing out, and neither guitar is.
I would never,
Just
ever
together.
try it that way.
I think your congregation would respond to that with a blast.
Yeah.
They'd blow you out of the church.
Did you catch the major faux pas by this guitarist? What was the major faux pas? It was really major. At the very beginning of the song, Charlie looked at Tom and said, "Tom, take it away." And what did I do? I played those notes. Da, da, da. Because Tom had told, or not Tom told me, but we had decided earlier that the guitar was going to carry the melody line. But I should have heard what Charlie said. Charlie said, "Tom, come in." Okay. It should have been, my part should have been, and pick up the melody right on that third note. And I missed that.
It wasn't too bad.
So,
Sorry.
So here's some minor tweaks.
This is Eugene here, so.
The keyboard could split and do a legitimate bass timbre, bass sound instead of a piano.
It's here.
Is that what you were playing?
I don't have a big bass speaker, so you're
Okay.
not feeling the
Right, all right.
girth of that.
You're right. All right,
Yeah,
so
I don't
anyway,
feel what
that's
you're
good. And then the other thing would be something with more sustain on the second guitar, like an electric guitar or something like that.
Something that could give more, and just devote that playing to just the melody.
Yeah.
Da, da, dee. Yep, that would be a good option.
Very nice.
Or we could add another instrument to carry that melody during this time, like a flute. Did you bring your flute?
I have clarinet and I did not.
You have clarinet, and you did not bring it, darn.
Yeah, it was at my other worship site a half hour away and I didn't get it.
It's okay. No other obligato instruments here with us? What about percussion?
That's Eugene right there.
Eugene, would you be willing to grab your kunga and be a part of our little ministry here?
It's great. Now we get to pick you apart, Eugene.
Yes.
Give a little bit less hit on the left
Let me go
hand.
over here where I can hear that weak bass.
Singer.
It's all right. I'll get you back. I'll get you back.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going back to Capo 5. So let's But just in the way of setting this up, do Tom more of the melody back in your right hand.
Okay.
Kind of the traditional way. And let's see what we get. All right.
1, 2. You can bring us in. 1, 2, 3, 1.
You guys come back to my part. What'd you think?
Nice.
That was nice.
Did you notice a change in the guitar playing
Oh, yeah.
When you got
when Eugene is with us? Holy cow, our jobs get a whole lot easier because he's got the pulse now. We don't have to be working hard at that. And there was one measure I didn't play anything. I just let a chord sustain for 2 full measures.
I like
So-
how you were complimented just like on a strum in certain places.
Yeah, and that's in all of this, with all this sound that we're creating, in my ear, that was the best thing that I could do, was to just leave it open. Other comments, other reactions to this? Do you see how many different versions we create depending upon who's with us? I mean, that's really, pianists, those of you who are pianists, excuse me, and those of you who play exactly what's in the hymnal or what's in the accompaniment book, when you have your ensemble there, you really have to be thinking, do you want to be playing all of those notes? Those notes are there to be a solo accompanist, and they are not intended for when you have a group of musicians like this. Half the notes, at least, probably need to go away, and some notes added that are not on the page because you're doing different things.
Especially with the percussionist, we are all technically percussion instruments, including
Right.
the keyboard. So when the percussionist is in there, all of a sudden you're looking at the page and you're saying, okay, I've got this song with all this. If you have somebody playing set, especially if you've got somebody with a hi-hat, you're saying, well, I've got all this 8th note action, which is now really unnecessary because most of it is more serving a rhythmic purpose than a harmonic purpose. And so you're going to defer, let your percussionist handle that, and you're going to back out. And of all the people that can overplay, I mean, I'd probably say the two biggest offenders are full on, like guitar, full on strumming, washboard stuff, and keyboard players that want to do too much, busy 8th note activity where you just get an onslaught of percussive sounds, which kind of obscure all the, more intricate things that could be happening because we're just creating too much. It's too much in your face, rhythmic action.
Other comments, other questions?
In the same vein that you said that pianists don't have to play all the notes or what is written, sometimes I find that the guitar chords are so busy in some pieces that it seems impossible, like it probably wasn't written for guitar. What
That's
is your
true.
take
However,
on that?
let me comment on that.
Okay.
We have to be careful with what harmonically is going on in the piece,
Okay.
especially on this instrument.
Yeah.
And oftentimes those chord changes are there to support what's going on here.
Gotcha.
So if you don't have a keyboard player playing all of those changes, by all means, you can go ahead and, for lack of a better way of talking about it, simplify it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to be a strategy to being able to play the song.
Right.
I mean, guitarists, we fall into that category way too often, where we see an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 and we go, we have no idea what that chord is, we can't play this song. Instead of, go figure out what an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 is, and what's the
What is it
grouping
doing
of
for the
notes,
song?
what's a movable shape for it, let's write that shape in our music. My gosh, these days, there's an app for it, right?
Right.
All you do is you find, got it,
Can I intercede?
Sure.
I'm doing this weekend, and this is what I did. I play guitar chords. I don't even get the piano music out so I can go with my ensemble. So I'm going to look at Christians, Let Us Love One Another. I rewrote these for the guitar and send them, and changed up the chording and added a couple, like a beat, so we can change the style of the tune so that it's, and we're all on the same page. And then I simplified so that we don't have as many chord changes. And so it kind of works out nicer that we're all doing the same thing.
Yep, as long as it's an intentional move.
Yes,
I-
yes.
Guitarists, we need to take our craft and we need to elevate it so that we're making good decisions that support what's going on with the music and are not decisions that are based on what we're not able to do. If we're not able to do something, let's go figure it out. Let's go learn it. Because we never move forward if we don't.
You know, we're breaking bread, OCP people, and there's a publication from OCP, it's just a PDF document you can download that pretty much has the chord formations for every chord that is in the hymnal, and the last publication of it was 2009, and it's still current for, you know, everything except for, you know, maybe a couple of things that Curtis Stephen does, but it's very current, and I keep it in the back of my folder, you know, that carries the rest of my math stuff. It's always back there to refer to.
And, you know, on a similar note, we're GIA with Gather, and I looked at software for my iPad to try to have the music on in a software form so you could use it in church instead. But it seemed to me that I don't know how you find it, but it seemed to me that it got pretty, you know, you had to have some way of being able to turn the page. You had to have some way of being able to, I don't know, to me, it was like a $90 software upgrade. And I didn't know if the juice was worth the squeeze, you know, I mean, if it was worth it, because it almost seemed like it was more.
Fourscore's $10.
And where's that from?
You just download it, it's an app. You just download it and dump your music, your PDFs right into it. And I have the mobile app for the OCP hymnal. Just screenshot it and download it as a PDF. It's very simple.
You can't edit from the PDF.
Yes, I can. That's what you see,
can
it's written
annotate,
all
yeah.
over there. I make all of my notes, and I send this PDF out to my guitar players.
Before you take a screenshot.
No, I screenshot it, and when you go into Fourscore, there's a million things you can do. You annotate, click annotate, get your little stylus out, and write everything on it, chord changes, and then send it out as an annotated PDF. And then everybody's looking at the exact same thing, make up a binder. If they want, they bring their own iPads, or they print out the music. Everybody has the same annotations. They don't have to do it once they get there, unless we make changes.
But if you're doing that on the newer version iPad, use the stylus, right?
You can use your finger. I mean, I think you,
That's the larger new iPad, right?
but you can use it on the smaller.
Just can't see it.
You just can't see it. That's right. Really?
So let's go back to the question that you raised about when you have a song that has like 4 changes in a row. I wish I have a resource that I teach the guitar stuff from that has literally changes. Mighty Fortress is our God. Dun 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 ba dun bum bum. And what do we do with that? There is a way of managing multiple chord changes or very complex chord changes, and that is to be thinking more in terms of partial chords instead of full strung chords. So you look at bits and pieces. Where's the progression going? Where it's moving from this chord to this chord. Where am I going to locate these chords in succession on my instrument to make it, to simplify it? And I don't have to play all 6 strings of that chord to make it happen. I can play 2 or 3 strings. to get through that phrase
Right.
and then get on into something that's more realistic.
That's great.
So yeah, so there are ways of taking those challenging parts that we're challenged with guitars and moving it forward for us.
Personally, depending on what the organist or the keyboard's playing, you don't have to play them. You know, it's like, I just kind of hold back in that section and let them kind of drive it.
Yep.
And I support them rather, I'm not the lead, they are.
Good stuff. Anything else from this? What'd you think about the addition of Eugene?
I like
Oh,
it.
great.
It was a
Loved
great
it.
sound, wasn't it?
Lost it.
Lost that sleepy time. All right, so we've got a little bit of time left here. We will. We're gonna change up all of us, as a matter of fact. So here's Charlie. Great job. Eugene, awesome. Thank you very much. So let's take a look at the song. We'll stay in kind of the same kind of genre. Let's look at You Are Mine. And could I have, is there a director here who feels really, really confident in their directing skills? Anybody?
What are we directing?
What was that?
I'll do it if you can.
Oh, heavens, yes. Oh, this is a kind group.
I do this song so much.
Okay, fantastic. And you're a keyboard player then?
Yes.
In this? Okay, so we'll have keyboard, percussion, and let's make this complicated. 3 guitars. I know. 3 guitars. And your name is? Sherry. Sherry is going to take a moment and work with this, and let's see what she goes for. So we need 3 guitar players. Are there 3 of you who would like to play? Have an opportunity to play You Are Mine. Here's 1, those 2. If you 3 would come on up. Is there a percussionist amongst us besides Eugene? No? Is the answer no? Eugene, why don't you come on up? So, Sherry, there's your ensemble.
Wow.
Yes, 3 guitars,
Challenging.
you and Kunga. And if you could arrange them in a way and kind of give them a little bit of direction of what you'd like on 2 verses, like verses 1 and 2, and then refrain. Okay? That's how much you'll play. And we'll give you a minute to do that.